after you departed from the king, you fled into the southern forest surrounding Watervale, also known as the Night's Nest Woods. And you absconded deep into the trees where you found a small glen, and you kind of confronted one another. And you were in the midst of these discussions when you heard a strange sound, and you looked up, and Oak is currently poised above you, and they are sitting on a large branch overhead. Their wings are draped over their shoulders, and they are just swinging their feet. And they clear their throat again, and now I said, what the hells did you do?
Sophie just points to Claudius.
Claudius looks down.
Julian goes, that one.
Well, first of all, I meant, why were you late? Second of all, what was that enormous fire? Whose was that? What? Hello, I remember.
I can take this one. This one here, he's blue. So am I.
And they very, very elegantly, they just kind of slip down from the tree branch, and they don't make a thud as they land. Their feet just kind of softly sink into the soil.
So not what just happened.
No, not what just happened at all.
That's Aaron's way of getting down from the tree. Smashing.
But they kind of look you over for a second, and then their wings just flare out, and a couple leaves flutter free, and then they offer a low bow, and, yes, great. What's going on?
I'm sorry for making the fire. I forgot that you can feel things.
Oh.
Yes, the trees were terrified, so...
Sophie shuffles, because she's been sitting down a little farther away, she shuffles over on her hands and knees and then sits next to the fire.
Basically, it's a bit of a clusterfuck. We forgot we had agreed on a time. I will apologize for that. That was a mistake on our part. Mm-hmm. We got entangled in a few different things that happened while we are in whatever the fuck city we were just in. Watervale? Watervale. Mm-hmm. And we might have pissed off the king kind of badly. He's a dick. The answer to why he's not talking to you is just he's a dick. So...
Just furious nodding from Sophie.
And we had to leave the city, and we probably will not be welcome back.
Oh no, I have to go back.
Oops. Why do you have to go back?
And who is that?
Oh, this is Delia. What's your last name?
Yes, that's great.
Just tell me, Grandma. It's all right, sweetheart.
We don't know her that well.
But you brought her into the middle of the woods.
Do you remember the one we were traveling with?
Yes, for a second, I thought that I wasn't around a lot longer than I was, and... Well... Mortals age a bit funny.
She's not the same one.
Well, I'm glad that was explained, so thank you. But, right, so what's going on exactly?
So the one that was with us got taken. And now we have this one who knows where she went, and now we have to go get her.
Now we have to exchange.
Wait, why did you come into the woods then?
Can't really stay in the city anymore.
Yes, but if she was taken, why did you... I don't understand.
She's in the prison in the swamp.
The swamp? Down near the... She's...
Yes, we know.
It's not good.
We don't
lie,
think
it's
it's a
not
great
good.
place to be.
How long ago was she taken?
Couple of days.
The trees usually tell me when passage happens. It's helpful most of the time. It's never mind. The trees never tell me when anyone is taken down there. Not once, not ever. And I know that it happens, and I know that it's there, and I can't exactly get down there very easily, but... You're sure that she was taken there?
No.
Not really.
Well, we're not, but she is.
Yes.
Then they must have a way of getting there that I can't be aware of. Maybe something underground, but what? So you're all going down there.
Yep.
And
You don't have swamp powers?
I tend to stick to where I won't drown.
Can't you fly? You have the little flappy wings, yes?
Yes, but I wouldn't exactly want to be spotted here. That's a little bit...
True, that's true.
You just got screwed over as far as countries go, didn't you? He's not the best one.
This is the first one.
It wasn't always like this. It was a nicer place. And then it all went to shit, so...
It's about to start the last 2 weeks of our lives.
So, you spoke with the king, and he's not coming to see me because...
He doesn't give a
He's a
shit. That too.
Also, I don't think he likes you very much.
Not at all.
No.
Not even
He
remotely.
feels as though it is your job to take care of nature, and also he doesn't like you because of the magic thing.
He thinks that these
he
guards are
doesn't
doing a
need-
sufficient job of controlling whatever is happening, despite the fact that we told him it is not so. He got a little bit defensive, I got a little bit angry, it's... whatever.
It's an allegory for global warming.
It's a what now?
That's it. Extended
Just talk to Alfred Gore when you went in there.
Alfred
So-
from the polar bear.
But see, that doesn't make any sense. The last time I saw the king, he was fine.
Well, if it makes
Well, a
you
lot
feel any
changes
better, he
in
doesn't
10
like
years.
us either.
It wasn't that long ago. It was maybe 10-ish time ago.
He said it was over 10 years.
Yeah, time changes people. That
Especially
things.
for humans, you know, that's like a long time.
How old was he when you first spoke to him? He was not that old, I didn't think.
Maybe he was just recently coming to the throne. Well, it's only been a little while.
Look, I think you have really bad memory.
My memory is fine. My memory is as fine as the trees.
Aren't the trees dying?
Not all of them.
So not all
Thank
of your
you.
memory is good, but not all of it is bad.
No,
He's
well,
got a
no.
photographic memory. He just
Time
ran out of film.
time passes, and you know, there's the sun and the moon, and time passes. It's been
Humans are kind of anal about how many times the sun passed. Oak.
doesn't really matter.
You.
So it's been time.
Alright, well now that we've discussed that the king doesn't give a shit, what are we supposed to do?
Well, I don't know.
Why was it so important? Remind, it was like 4 months ago. Remind me, why was it so important for the king to cooperate? I don't remember.
We used to work together to make sure that borders were fine, that fields were flourishing, and that the people were doing well. We worked together in that, and I made sure not to enter the city and startle anyone, but I also made sure that everything was well kept and fine. And the fact that he doesn't care anymore, it doesn't make any sense.
He did not make very much sense to me either.
Did he used to care?
Yes, the kings have always cared for Vilan.
Were there blue stones on the king?
We did a check and he didn't have them.
We surely did not.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, he didn't?
I did. I checked and he didn't have them. At least that I could see.
Why can't you go visit him yourself?
When I enter into a civilization, it's not the same as Una or my brothers or other.
Who's Una?
Una is my youngest sister. She's a little bit of a She's a handful, but
They always are.
she's only 100 years old, so she's very young. But Una was born into civilization, and I was not. And when I enter into civilization, I weaken. I find myself severed, in a way, from everything that's around me. And it was why they were able to keep me for so long. God, that was ages ago.
That was like 2 weeks ago.
It was time ago.
You know, like 14 suns.
It was time ago. It feels like ages ago that.
I'm gonna get your calendar.
Planner, perhaps.
But Watervale is civilization upon civilization. There is so much metal and stone, and the air is so thick that I could try to get in, but if people attacked me, then I couldn't. I'm supposed to keep them safe. I'm supposed to. That's my purpose, is to guide them and guard them. And I've been pushed away from it a bit. And so long as people are continuing, then I sort of focus on everything around it now. And so long as the land continues, then the people will continue. And that's...
Perhaps writing a letter. Yes?
I suppose, but I don't write exactly.
I could take something for you.
But if things went to absolute shit
They
and
won't
you're
notice
hiding
me. I
in
was
the...
a handmaid. You're fine, darling.
Yes, I understand, miss, but you must understand. If you all were chased into the woods, I really don't think he's going to answer a letter.
Maybe.
To be fair, we were chased into the woods for a different reason. It wasn't necessarily us talking to him about you reason.
We
He was
actually,
not fond of it.
we actually don't know technically if we would be held responsible. Because we had already left at that point.
I don't think he would like any of us, to be fair.
He said it was a pleasure to meet me, okay? It was fine.
Sweetheart, I don't think he liked you.
No, but he didn't hate me. And that's more
true.
than other people,
That's
so...
true.
Yes.
Can you not take your 3 people and eat away at the land they already took back from you?
That would be the opposite of what I do. If they mean to push me out, then they mean to push me out.
Well, they try to do that with magic all over Giron, as I'm pretty sure you're aware, but we exist. They exist. Whether they think they pushed them out or not. They're
Do
here.
magic?
You take your No, sweetheart.
Oh, well, you
no,
said
no, no.
we.
My
You said we.
people that I know. It's all right, yes.
And Oak just
Sound
kind
like
of
you said yourself.
settles down in front of the fire.
I'm old,
And
it's fine.
so
He
you
goes,
plan
do
to
you eat? Do you
sunlight?
consume- Never mind.
Una eats. That's weird, but she's doing her best. She's doing her best.
I'm sure she is.
But So what's your plan exactly?
Yes. That would be something we should have. Correct.
I think it will be hard to have a plan until we see the place and have something to sort it out.
I have a very rough map, but I have not been there myself too many times.
If I may, I think we need a plan to get there.
You can lead us. Like a Sherpa.
Like a what-up?
You know, like a spirit guide.
I'm basically that. So
Right, that's like what I just said that.
Yes. So that's called agreement. I was agreeing with you.
Oak is teaching us how to be human beings.
That's
not
We're
a human
shit
being.
monsters, and Oak is like, this is how you talk to people.
Basically, the cast of Seinfeld, just assholes to everyone.
I could lead you somewhat, but
How about to the edge of the swamp? You don't have to like get your feet wet or anything.
I could do that. I
Could you
could.
like water bend for us? Can you swamp bend so that we can go?
No, that's.
Can you tell us about the animals and the foliage that is in the swamp?
Gross things,
Oak.
and I believe, yes, Tenzin.
Oh no, I have a OCC question.
An
Said
ox.
ROTC question. It's like, not here.
Is the
No,
prison
for Lee.
south of Watervale?
Yeah.
Okay.
South by 2 days.
And I'm assuming we're on the southern outside of the
Mhm.
city, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's opposite of the freaking gun ruins that we need to go to.
Yeah. We don't have a lot of time.
Well, so you, it's a. I don't like it down there. That's for starters. Pretty much what lives everywhere. You've got deer. You've got some moose.
Oh, the things that'll kill us. We want to know about the things that will
A
kill
moose
us.
will kill you. A moose would absolutely just destroy you. They're not nice.
May kill him, but I don't
No.
think. No, it's
Anything with like sharp teeth or poison,
like snappy
or
gators.
Yeah,
things
there's
like that.
definitely snappy gators.
death
Are there mean
monsters.
people we should look out for that you know
Well,
of? Witchy
there are
people?
soldiers who patrol the forest, soldiers who patrol the swamps. You might find, well, it doesn't really happen all too often, but sometimes they've let the mages that they're done with go, so you might meet some mages who have gone completely out of their gourd.
Adgord.
It's a lovely joke, Sophie. It's great. That's lovely. You're talking about your deaths. That's what you're talking about, and you're making a joke about it.
Oh my god.
Oak, you don't know me very well.
She likes
Yes.
to do that. Coping
I can't
mechanism.
help you in the swamps. I can't go in there. It's
we didn't
too
ask
deep.
You to.
You did before.
Yeah, but
No,
you said
it's
no.
fine.
You
Right,
said no.
Sophie. Right. So there are
Over.
things that are going to bite you, and probably things that are going to poison you. And there's buzzy bugs, and there's all kinds of just wild stuff down there. But in the forest, which is what I know, you're going to have wolves, and you're going to have bigger wolves, and you're going to have soldiers on those wolves. I can't walk with you the whole way
People get
because
really angry at me in the last 2 weeks, and I'm just a little overwhelmed right now. So you can stop yelling. That would be fantastic.
and Oak like
Sophie like waves her hand.
Oak
at you.
scooches over, and then
For
just
air.
one like leafy wing wraps around you. Just, I'm sorry. You're right. I
know,
just
that
don't
was
understand.
hilarious.
I just don't understand
She
why
just
you
goes-
think it's so funny.
Just stare at me.
There are soldiers who patrol the woods.
Yeah, and there were soldiers that patrolled the city. Listen, at this point, our lives are kind of a shit show.
Oh no, what he
And-
means are on the big puppies.
They mean.
Well,
they move
shit,
quickly,
we
very
faced how many
fast.
other things in these woods? Do you know how many things we had to kill in order to get here in the first place? We're gonna get fucking murdered at some point. It
The
may be
real
tomorrow, it
question-
may be 10 years from now. There's going to be danger. We understand that.
The
it's
real
fine.
question is, where
Remember,
can you go?
remember, do you need the other wing?
Yes.
Come here. And just like, and it literally just sounds like leaves rustling as
It
it.
sits with her leg, like her knees up on her chin, just like that.
And Grad's like snuggled in. She's like, "This is magic. I like this. Okay."
It at this point
Yes.
looks like a lean-to is what it
Yes.
looks like.
Good. I
Yes,
like that we're
high
raising our
clawiness.
hands now.
Do you have a third one?
No, I don't. But
And Grad just sticks her hand out. She's like,
there, you can there. Hold
Scooches-
on.
He tries to
And-
scooch in next to
Oak-
Angerod and share her wing.
Oak like pushes their fingers into the ground, and then a little, like, lean-to brush kind of grows up beside that part of their wing. There, it's fine. Now, right. Sophine, you were just joking about death. Don't make that sort of face. Unless you want another wing, I could grow something else.
Death and that are very different. They're very
Fine.
different.
Great. So,
Do you happen to know the area? You sound to know.
They
it
obviously
sounds
can't go
better
anywhere.
than the
They
map
can't go anywhere.
I could have.
well, I can definitely guide you to probably what's going to be the shallowest part through.
That would be great. I
That's
would love that.
it's the way that I know that people go through. So I can lead you to that, and then I can do my best to sort of sprout a guide as far as I can.
Could you watch our horses?
Yeah.
We're not about to do what is it, Anthrax through the freaking miserable forest.
I've never watched. Do I keep them in?
Could you make like a little hedge fence for them so they don't run away?
I could. Yes,
You're
I could
supposed
do
to be the
that.
spirit of the forest. You don't know what to do with horses?
I don't have horses
Keep
around
the horses
here.
with you. Let them run free and roam wild.
Exactly. Thank you,
If I may,
Tennyson.
I have an idea.
Yes.
It sounds like, from what you're saying, Oak, that perhaps they have a way of getting people to the prison without going through the forest.
That's what I assume.
Well, if that is the
Probably
case, that
fly
would be
there.
the best way for us to get there without having to go through the swamp. So, if it's something underground, there's a person I can think of who might have information about that. And if it's not underground, he might have other information about other ways we could travel through. Gordon, actually.
Who lives in the city?
I happen to have a map of the undersewer, the sewers under the lower tier that connect all the way to the upper tier. Could do a stealth reconnaissance mission, take the tunnels into the upper tier, find him, and try and get some information from him.
I don't think there's any point in going back into the city right now.
I
Alright,
really
hold
don't
on. We
think
don't
we
have
have
any
that
other
time.
information. Right now we're gonna have Oak able to lead us through the forest, but then once we get to the swamp, how the fuck are we supposed to cross the swamp and then get into the prison?
Because they probably take an airship there. That's
And then that's something we would know.
what we
Would
need
you
to,
have seen
we're gonna
the
sneak
airships
into the
if they
city that
took
we
an
just got
airship?
run out of to
Do we
commandeer
know
Well,
those
it's
exist?
not me
Yes, we do. We've
necessarily. It's if
Who?
whatever the trees notice. So the trees notice if a large portion of the forest is burned or cut down. They notice if a new village is erected. They notice that sort of thing. They don't really pay attention to the skies.
Who noticed the airships? Because last session I asked if
Nobody did.
I
I thought we
noticed
had
them.
said we'd seen them.
No,
You
that's
noticed the
why
edge of-
I have not
of-
utilized
Yeah,
those.
you've noticed
I was
you noticed like the edge of something. I thought.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna say
you
we've
said
But
definitely
you
seen them.
didn't see them in the air though.
No, but we've surmised that there are some kind of movement.
No.
Nope. We haven't seen him.
I specifically asked Sarah, I was like, while going through the upper tier, have I noticed
So
any
we're gonna
special
go
types
back
of ship?
to this on a whim that there might be something that we don't know is
Listen,
there.
if
Well,
there's
also remember
underground,
she's already been in there for like 2 or 3 days now. This like maximum security prison
Also,
that tortures
Do you
people.
know
How long she gonna be alive?
Airships?
Oh, we
I
haven't
was.
talked to her about it.
I have a map of the outside of the swamp and bog and peat area.
The
I would
DM is telling us to
assume.
fucking
I would
wade the
assume
swamp.
we have to go there.
We have to wade the chicken water.
Well, my thinking is if I can get you to the shallowest bit of the swamp, and thus hopefully the shallowest part of the bog, if there is a way that they're taking them in underground, perhaps you can get out underground. You'll already be in there. You won't be searching for the way in. If they haven't taken a way into the forest, they might have a way in underground or above ground or something in the city. And I wouldn't know that. The trees wouldn't know that. I can't even commune very well with their gardens. They're so against magic that they've stripped the city of it. I can see flashes now and again, but that's it.
just got run out of on a whim that Gordon may or may not be able to help us.
Technically, one of us got ran out of. The
You're
others
right. You are not
fled.
wrong.
And if anybody knows about underground tunnels, it would be Gordon. At least it seems to be that way, as he's given me these maps.
Isn't it 2 days from the city to the prison? How the fuck?
Well,
I
what
could
the
get in and out in a
HE
night.
fuck is a tunnel doing?
I was
2
going
days
to
worth?
say, one way
I
or
could get
another,
in,
we're going
get
to
out.
need to sleep for the night. I found a lot of shit getting us
Yeah.
out of the city. So,
Same.
if you think you can get in, if you have enough left in you that you can get in and out and back to us before morning, then I guess. But I'm not going to volunteer to go with you at this point. I don't.
I
think
wouldn't
it's worth
ask
it.
anybody to. It'd be faster without.
I'll head you all in for the night, so you won't have to worry about anything surprising you. Who was it that tied something on a tree?
I typed something on.
I made sure that those were gone,
Thank you.
so that you're aware. That's the sort of thing that I know, is things that should not be there. That's the sort of thing that I know.
Tied a thing on the tree.
So
Types
they
are-
could find us.
So that
I can head you in,
I thought
make
you
it
meant
look
the
like it's too
perimeter.
thick for anyone, especially several horses, to get through. And that way, even if the soldiers who patrol these woods come through, they won't be able to get in.
We appreciate it.
And Tamsin, if you mean to go back to the city, then I can try to make sure that the trees bend low for you.
I'm willing, but if all of you think it's a pointless endeavor,
I think it has merit. It's definitely more information than we have now, and of all of us, you would have the easiest time getting in.
What was the task that he gave you? What did he tell you to do?
Gordon. He wanted us to retrieve a specific item for him from the ruins. It was kind of a throw-on top of trying to find the prototype. And he was willing to pay pretty good for it.
Understood.
I think
I don't-
I think he would value us surviving this to go find that piece for him. So I think he would be willing to help, because so far we seem like the most capable bunch to him.
I don't think it is without merit. I think it is an issue of risk versus benefit at this point, because it is definitely incredibly risky to go back in. It is the same night that we've left the city, there is a huge uproar. You will have heard about that. I just don't know how wise it is to go back in. And that is the decision that you have to make for yourself, because you would be the one burning. If whatever information he can give us is helpful enough that we would be able to use it, then maybe it's worth it, but I don't know that he would know very much about this poison in the middle of the swamp. He does not seem... He seems very linked into people and civilization and the people in the city and what the professor is interested in. I don't know how much information he would have on the person.
If we had time, I think it would be a good idea, but we really don't. We don't know how much time Rinna has left, and if you spend the whole night going to the city and back, you'll have not have rested, and the journey will be even longer for you. And you're one of our best, and we don't need you at half strength.
It is not a decision that we can make for you. You have to make it for yourself. I can say Godspeed, but other than that...
big speed, brother.
brother.
Tess is gonna wait for a second. Let's see if he gets any feeling.
Up for the mission.
feel anything.
I don't want paid to be like, nah.
It's like, nah, fam.
I think it's a really good idea, and I like that idea a lot. Personally.
Isn't Fate having like their midlife crisis right
Yeah,
now?
they are. They sure
Babe's
are.
doing stuff. Alright, I don't want to take up time. I'm trying to think what Temsin would do, but
Temsin would sneak the fuck off on his own.
Oh.
yeah.
Tim's gonna be like, yeah, I'm
We know
staying.
that.
And then just leave.
Which is why
After
I'm
going
not,
through
like,
everyone's
fine.
things.
And as you guys are sitting there, you can see Oak push their fingers into the soil, and the trees that are around you seem to grow and thicken, and these really thick, tall hedges kind of sprout between the trees until you're kind of like fenced in.
Nice.
Oh.
I'll be back as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
All the vapors. Okay.
And Temsin's gonna look at Oak and kind of like nod as he approaches the hedge to head through it.
There is one more thing that I was just thinking about randomly off the top of my head. You know, just right into the old noggin. We did steal keys from a very large prison. That's not gonna go unnoticed. We should skedaddle tomorrow.
Did anyone see us though? No, right?
But they're going to
They
be
know that they're
missing
missing.
keys. We
They're
took
missing
all
keys.
of the keys,
Yes.
not just some of them.
Who
All
has
of them.
those? Who has those keys? Oh, okay, very good. I was like, I don't have
Jingle, jingle.
Stealthy as a motherfucker.
We have to assume that at this point, anything that goes wrong in that city, they would pin on us. Like, that is how people like that work. People who don't want to take any responsibility for things, they pin responsibility on the easiest target, and right now we are the easiest target.
Yeah.
So I think it is definitely wise. That's why I told Temsin to be quick and come back by morning, because one way or another we are leaving this coming morning. We have to.
Yeah, that was always.
Implied, yeah.
Yeah, I always assumed it would be anything in the morning. Question is there. Because I've now traversed the lower tier and the upper tier and I've seen how it connects. I'd have an idea and a gauge of time, how long it would take me to get up there and get back.
You will not get back before first light. It's going to take you a couple hours to get back to the city. It's going to take you hours to get through because you're going to be using apparently the sewers, you said?
Yeah, I'm going to take the sewers underneath up into the upper tier.
And you don't know the entire sewer layout. So it will take, you will not get back before first light. I will tell, like, I don't know
But
what
you
else will
said
happen.
I do have a
but-
path from the lower tier all the way up into the upper tier.
You have a path from the lower tier to the middle tier.
Oh.
And then you have a separate one from the upper to the middle.
We're also traveling with horses and a big group, so you can catch up to us, in theory.
I think the DM is like,
No,
"Oh,
it's
fucking go
no.
there."
I'm just trying to let you know, like, it's not going to be something that can be rushed. Like, it's gonna take time.
Yeah.
Like, I'm fascinated by this idea.
You
It's a
get there
good
and Gordon's
idea.
just like, I don't fucking know about a prison.
Right? He's like,
Yeah, there is a very
Well,
big
and
chance
if
that it's
nothing
worth
else-
nothing.
If nothing else, going back in will give you a feeling of the city, and like if they're actively looking for us, or if it's just like, ah, fuck those guys, and they let us go. Like, it'll give us more information one way or another. So I'm not mad at it. It's just like it's gonna be
It's a risk.
It's a risk, and
So
you
what's
have
it
to know
gonna
that.
be?
This could potentially turn into us rescuing 2 people instead of 1 person
Although
if you
we
get caught.
have a guy on the inside.
Well,
Avatar style.
if
thank you.
if I don't come out and meet up with you, you don't come after me.
Well, that's bullshit.
Well, yeah, what the fuck?
Okay, at this point, it's a 30-70 cut, and the 30 is going back in. I don't see this
37
as...
cat?
Yeah, like, it's a 30% chance in my mind that that would be somewhat like, that would be profitable. Because we just ran out yesterday. Why when we go sit
Today. You ran out
Sorry,
today.
we just freaking did that today. Everyone's gonna be running around like chickens with their heads cut off. The whole thing is that we should go get Rinna, let everything cool off, and by that point, maybe there's a new threat at that point. Another mage they want to murder.
Or you get enough disguises that you can go back in.
Yeah,
but
I
like
don't
right
think
now,
the
do not go
specials-
in the same day that
Yeah.
you just
Why would
made
you
everyone
start
angry.
the hill and then go back to it?
I don't know that it would be worth it to go.
Especially if you.
I know you want to go back to Gordon because also like that adventure sounds cool, but at the same time
We can go back later.
we can circle back after a
Yeah.
couple of months. Go back.
Yeah. I don't think this will be beneficial at all.
Plus, you'll have a point of exhaustion or two. Because
I
we'll
still
have
think
kept
it's a
them.
really good
Even
idea.
if you make it back, she already said you won't make it back by first light. So what we really should do is sleep and leave as soon as we're rested and healed, and then get Yelling up out as far as we can.
I also will say, I'm not one way or another. This is genuinely your choice to make. I will say you're 1 or 2 bad rolls away from,
Getting caught.
yeah, really bad shit. Like the
There's only
cost
one of
of this, if your rolls are bad.
Yeah,
is,
you're like one bad bluff check or
30-70.
one bad stealth check.
Because there's
Or, like-
nothing we can do to help you, like distraction wise or like.
I could disguise you
group-wise.
before you go in, but it would
it's
only
fine.
help you for an hour.
We will just go to sleep and head out in the morning.
Alright, well. Rest well then. We've got a long way to go. And Oak kind of like pulls their wings back and they bow and they slip into the hedge and then just vanish from sight. You guys are alone with the campfire.
Well, that was a shitty day. I'm very tired. I used a lot of magic. I'm going to bed. Whoever wants to, you're more than welcome to set up near me or whatever. But I need to sleep. Just like...
Tamsin just bundles up with all of his stuff and puts in.
I'm going to ask my boy some questions.
I'm gonna sit there while she asks her boy some questions.
Yes.
I will. What, is he sleeping?
No,
Okay.
his has been very quietly just watching the whole time.
What do you think about all this?
Celia's going to bed, by the way.
Okay. What do you mean what I think?
Well, you didn't know Skamos, right?
I don't know.
Oh, you've not seen him. Oops. That blue... Oh shit, what do we do with that blue scale? We got rid of it, right?
Nope, we still have it. Angarod has it. Angarod has the blue scale that Remember got from the open fields.
Okay.
We never got rid of it. I wanted to get rid of it. Everybody talked me out of it.
Yeah, okay, that's right.
You
We
thought you
keep-
could be
it's in
tracking
the
us
lead
through the
box.
scale,
Uh-huh.
which he still might be.
It's in the lead box.
Yeah, it's in the lip box. Well, I had you see that blue scale.
Yeah.
How'd you feel about that? You didn't seem to like it.
No, it's from a dead one.
But what does that mean?
It means that it's dead.
But what's it?
The dragon.
But why is that a bad thing?
We don't die very easily.
You know, that's right.
And we live a really long time.
When you said you want the mages to help the dragons, what did that mean?
Well, I mean, there's not so many of us now. And I don't know what was happening to us before.
How would they help you?
Well, they could help us not get caught anymore. Like I was in a pot.
How did you get in the... I mean, did the goblins capture you?
No, the goblins stole me
From where?
from a wizard.
From where?
I don't know where. It was dark a lot. It was dark, and he liked to take scales.
Oh.
And I don't know what he did with them, but he kept me where it was small, and he kept me where it was dark. I bet I'd be bigger.
You'll get big soon.
I'm growing now. And he kind of like arches his back a little bit.
Ooh.
Where did you match?
I think it was dark and sparkly. But I don't know.
Sounds like the birthing process.
I think the wizard got me real quick. So maybe he did it.
You know his name?
No, he wouldn't give me his name. He said names have power.
What does he look like?
He was in a mask, and he was in a hood with a cape, and he had, his skin was rough in some spots. Eczema.
I realize that you don't have to stay with us.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I can fly.
Yes, you can.
Mm-hmm.
Did he sound like any of us?
He used dragon talk.
I wonder if our sweet Skamos is the same person.
We put the entire campaign on hold to hunt this dude down.
Oh well.
Genuinely.
What's a Skamos?
Well, we don't know, technically.
He's what you keep yelling about.
Yeah, he likes money a lot,
Mm-hmm.
but he's doing lots of bad stuff with it.
What's Skanos' like other name?
Mogul?
I've heard that a little bit, but mostly when you guys are yelling about it.
Have you heard it when we're not yelling about it? Like from someone else that's not the moms?
No.
Okay. I'm out of questions. You got anything?
What about animals?
No.
No? Alright,
Is he a blue tiefling? Right?
He is now.
He is now.
he was recast in the second season. They couldn't get the original guy back.
The original actor.
Khal Drogo. They're not Khal Drogo, the mom.
Fucking, yeah.
Okay, well,
And Dario Naharis.
I guess
I think they had 3 actors for them.
it's nap time.
Okay. Yeah.
That is your real name.
What happened to the wizard? When they stole you?
Well, sometimes he would go away, and so I think he was away. But there was a lot of things that broke. And then they opened the jar, and then I hissed at them, and then they closed it. And then sometimes they would throw stuff in, and it didn't smell very good. But I was hungry. And then you dumped me out.
So you weren't in there long?
I don't know.
Oh. My boy.
That was very brave of you.
What else was I gonna do? I'm a dragon. I'm not gonna let a goblin eat me.
You are right.
That'd be bad.
It was still very brave.
Thank you, Mom.
Is there anything else you want to talk about? You seem a little upset.
Well, everyone's upset. And Rinna's gone, and you almost killed Teeth. And you were throwing stuff. And everyone's so mad, but they don't want me to help. And I'm a dragon. I can help.
If you could, like, on a scale, do damage, what would that scale look like?
Don't know. But it would hurt.
How do you want to help us?
I could distract people.
Oh no, I hate that plan.
I love it.
And he kind of shakes his head, and behind your shoulder, you can see some glittering lights start dancing back and forth.
I can do stuff.
You can do stuff.
So why don't you want me to?
Somebody take this. I don't know what to say to it.
We are concerned that if you distract people, if you draw attention to yourself, you could become a target. And people could try to trap you or kill you or...
She cares about you and she doesn't want anything to happen.
What the fuck? You're awake.
We're scared for you. We want you to be safe. We never want you to be taken again. We never want you to be killed. We want you to grow and be happy. And it's hard to grow and be happy when you are being shot at and having spells cast at you.
And that doesn't
Those
mean
notes.
she doesn't think you are strong. She
Shut
just
up. You're
wants
not
the
talking
best.
to our child. Go away.
Why do you need teeth?
Because it pissed me off.
Are you all gonna go get Rinna?
We're going to do our damnedest.
And what am I gonna do?
You can go with us. And we're going to keep you safe. If you want to. You don't have to stay
I
with
want
us.
to go with, but I don't want to sit in the hood anymore.
Your mom's busy right now.
Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how many spells I can use.
That's a good question.
I'll let you know.
If why suddenly do you want to be involved so much now?
Because I can. Because you're drinking that stuff.
I haven't done that in a very long time.
In like days, Mom.
No, it's been like at least 2 weeks.
Mama, lion's bad.
It is bad. I'm not lying. I think it really has been 2 weeks. Shit, it's not been 2 weeks.
Oh,
I'm doing a lot better. It used to be every day.
Well, if you die, then I have to take care of everybody.
Oh, he's pissed.
He kind of starts like stomping around in a little circle.
Okay, I'm gonna sleep, Mama.
Okay, you go to sleep.
He peeks up at Remember.
You gonna sleep?
I'm gonna try.
Okay.
And he like digs a little hole and fits himself inside it.
Oh, my small boy. I don't know how to let our boy go to battle. I can't. I'm going to bed, I guess.
But someday they have to grow up.
He's only 120.
Okay, so Angerad is asleep, Delia is asleep.
Sleep.
Okay, is everyone just passing the night away?
Yeah.
Should we take washes?
Oh, yeah, I was about to say, wait, should we take a watch?
we would be fine with the hedge
What's protecting
of
us?
Oh,
trees.
can't go to a swamp. I don't trust this.
You can keep watch if you want.
Well, I also have
Oak is
my
keeping watch over
border
it
that I
right now.
put up.
Yeah, I'll go to
Oh
sleep.
yeah, we will.
We have defenses. Well, the good news is we have pissed off every single horned one we've met. This is a great streak. We'll just keep this up when we go to the next country.
Tamsin is
It's
gonna
inevitable.
stay up for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't really need anything at the moment. But he will take like a sleep, but it'll be like a 4-hour sleep if anything.
Just like half.
But yeah, I mean,
Cat.
Tamsin's all good right now. But
Okay.
so he's gonna kind of just stay up, keep an eye on things for a little while.
Claudius is staying up. He's flying up to the top of the tree.
And both of you who are awake at anyone who is awake at any point during the night, whether it's for watch, whether it's restless sleeping, whatever, you do see Oak appearing in the clearing now and again, and sometimes they're just like kind of wandering through the trees. Like sometimes you can see their wings as they fly from a portion of the forest to a portion of the forest. And morning comes. And it
Delia's
comes.
doing her sun salutation yoga way before sunrise. Way.
The stars are
Her body is like a farmer. It's like 4 a.m. Morning!
And when you guys awaken in the morning, you find that your horses are in these like hedge stalls, and Oak is sitting on a big branch, one leg dangling, watching Delia. And like now and again, they kind of like lift an arm. They like mimic with their wings, and they're like, "Oh, good morning. What is she doing? What is she doing with her limbs?"
It's called yoga. It's to keep yourself limber. And she lifts her leg and just
Right.
got to be ready for the punch, kick, you know, like the kids do.
Like the kids do. Yes.
You're very pretty. In the daylight, I get to see your magnificent wings.
Thank you. I am rather fetching, and they stretch
Do
their
they
wings
change
out.
color with the seasons?
Usually.
Very beautiful in the fall, I assume.
And they're beautiful all the time.
Well, yes, of course.
Oak's like, I know what I look like. I'm nice looking.
I'm beautiful, I know.
But, good morning. So, I found out how to watch your horses. You put them in boxes.
You do? Yes.
Yes. Paddocks is what some people call them.
Paddocks.
Well, you
Why
put
is
them
that
in
a
these
white
boxes, and so I put them in a box.
Good. We do
I'm
need
great
to
with horses.
feed and water them, yes. Once daily should do.
Well, there's grass, and there's a stream over there. I'll just move the box.
Okay, yes, that's
And
fine.
I'm sure we have animal rations we can leave.
Alright.
Really green and shit.
Yeah.
Alright.
To keep
They're
them
horses,
going.
they'll eat whatever, it's fine.
Right.
What do horses eat?
That's so great.
Grass.
It's aggressive shit, it's fine.
If you throw them an apple or something every once in a while, if they're being good,
I can do apple
they
trees.
do like that.
I can do apple trees.
I'm-
Apple trees are
It
easy.
only fits on with Oak.
Okay.
Oh, keep it some.
Does Fitsum need a box?
He can stay in the box with the horses. He should
They're
be
friends.
behaved. He knows quite a few commands. Sit, stay, come, go, fight those bad guys over there.
I like that one.
He
That's a good
should
one.
be very useful. Fitsum, make sure you listen to Oak and do as he says. And he like pats. And then he's like, and here's a bag of food for him. He'll eat stuff, but this is generally what he eats.
Okay.
And
He's
then
become the
here's a
pet
little
sitter.
bag of like treats if he's extra good. he
How
can
do I know
have
what's
one.
good and what's extra good?
As long as he's not causing you trouble, and he listens. If you have him do a trick or something, you can give him a treat.
All right.
You can.
That's not. I can do that. All right. Fitsum will get a box with the horses, and he'll get treats, and it'll be great.
Just not too many.
So we can just leave them while I get you through to the swamp for a couple days, then.
Do you think it would be faster to ride them, or?
No, not through. The Knight's Nest woods are rather dense.
Alright, then I don't see why they can't stay here.
Oh, that'll be. They're fine. They're animals. Animals are fine.
You could sense if something was wrong, right?
Don't let our animals die.
I won't let them die. I'll figure.
That's my mom's horse. You can't let it die.
Oh, I will not let that one die.
In particular.
That one in particular. It won't die.
Here's my other question.
Finds a
Do
necromancer.
we maybe want them to stay somewhere that it would be good to run to after we have Rinna? Where are we going next?
Hell if I know.
The prison.
To the ruins?
Oh,
Yes, we wanted to go check out those ruins. I don't know. Do we want to do that
I would
That's sort
still
of-
like to do that.
It is sort of a side thing, though.
I have an idea.
Tell us your idea.
So, I can keep the horses here. It'll be great. And since I can feel when something is wrong with the trees, now no one's done this in a really long time, and they put their hand on a tree, and you can see this symbol that looks very similar to Una's antlers, look almost as if it's carved into the bark of the tree. That used to be how they called me before they built the city. So they would put that on a tree, and I would know that they specifically needed me. So you carve that into a tree, and I'll know that you need your horses wherever it is that you are.
Thank you.
That's yes.
Billy's
that's
gonna doodle that down in like a
Yeah.
piece of
And then,
parchment and shove it in her bag.
sorry, and they like smooth out the bark. So
Yeah, Tenzin's gonna make a note of the picture too.
So just carve that into a tree when you need me, and I'll head to wherever it is you are.
So before they head out, Tenzin's gonna say goodbye to Fitsum. He's gonna
Wait, I thought Oak was
Just
gonna
in
lead us
case.
partially.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oak's gonna lead you guys to
Oh,
the
so
small.
we're leaving our animals.
Yes.
Because there's
But
a
Oak's
stream
gonna
nearby.
Keep them
and-
safe.
Yeah, Oak's gonna keep they are currently there's no way of them running off or anything right now.
I would be really disappointed if my horse gets eaten by wolves or other carnivorous beasts.
Nothing will get through.
They can't get out.
He is the
Tenzin
ruler of the
is gonna say goodbye to Fitsum.
He can't go in the swamps.
Listen, we've got to go.
The gods
Save
sword in the
Rinna.
swamp.
And Fitz just kind of like
Gotta leave you here,
Tilts
but
his
listen. And he's gonna look at him. He's like, if stuff goes bad, you run and come find me. And then he's gonna take like a piece of his thread and have him sniff it. He's gonna tie it on his collar.
Homeward
Yes.
bound.
Aww.
gives him a big kiss.
Side quest.
Quest for Fitz.
Hey.
The rest of the session is Fitsum's homeward bound journey to
adventure.
find us.
Yes.
Right.
Homeward
All
Fitz.
right, so we're ready to now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to clear the way and keep out of sight. I don't know exactly how, but sometimes there are mage hunters in these woods. I don't know how they find them, but they're probably drawn to magic. And I know you guys have your things, but I'm me. So I'm going to stay out of sight, but you'll have a clear path.
Okay.
So just stay on it.
Onward.
Great. And the hedge kind of parts just enough to let the six of you through, and Oak steps out behind you and closes the hedge up.
Hey, Oak.
Yes?
Thank you.
You're welcome, remember. Right, okay. And
It's
they
about to go down.
kind of rub their hands together and they're like, right, so this is a lot, and then they like reach out and touch a couple plants, and you can see their tail like twist into the earth, and their wings kind of fan out and also stab down into the ground, and it's like they've rooted themselves into it. And their eyes just go completely blank. And you can see bark growing up over their skin. You can see that their eyes kind of look almost like the underside of bark if you've peeled it. Like, that's what their eyes look like. And they just, for all intents and purposes, have become a tree. And the trees before you begin to shudder and shake, and ever so slowly begin to move. And this very densely packed forest that you'd run into begins to part into a very... It doesn't look like a walking path, it just looks like the trees grew in a very strange curved way to make this
Oak is so
long, twisting
Okay, it's
path.
really cool.
That's dope.
Definitely.
Nice.
And they sit like that for a hot minute. They just are stationary, and the leaves on their wings kind of blow in the breeze, and you can see little like moths and little butterflies that come around and kind of come investigate and then flutter off, and then finally they blink and pull up out of the ground and shake themselves off. Hi! What day is it?
It's the same day.
Oh, good. Oh,
It would have been
Good.
a problem if it hadn't been.
yeah, I tried to be as quick as possible, so I'm never quite
Appreciate
sure
that.
when you hibernate, so right. You guys just stay this way, and I couldn't do it all the way down, that's just too far, but I'm gonna hop up and I'll meet you at the end of the path. And they step toward a tree and just kind of fade into it.